ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LCO. We're halfway through and the glass is half full. It'll get full by the end of the night with sweat because that's all we do here on the LCO. Everyone, of course, putting on their A game and jumping around, sweating. I don't know, I do thousands of push-ups off camera every single break. Wow. I think I got 300 in.
How do you
do it,
Mac?
That's a lie. I don't know. Arms that I can't control. Now, Skimmy, tell me, we got a big matchup coming up here. We got Pentanet taking on the Chiefs. And up until yesterday, the Chiefs were completely undefeated. They copped their first L in a very tight game up against Peace, rather.
They did, yeah, and I mean, I'm not sure really which way the fans would have been going for this one because I was expecting Chiefs to take that one with a degree of, I mean, obviously they're going to have to work for it, but I felt like there was going to be a degree of cool calmness to it, right? That they've got all these veteran players, those that have been Smurfs in their own region, but gone overseas and proven it there as well, right? So to come back, it should be a case of it's a super team, it's a foregone conclusion. But credit to where credit is due, right? Peace absolutely gave them a run for the money, made it really difficult for some of their champions to perform. And we saw some uncharacteristic mistakes at times. So if there was ever a time to bust out the phrase of angry gaming, and Chiefs have certainly got that, very keen to go.
Very keen indeed. Now let's talk Pentanet. So they've been popping off. They've been having a good couple of games. Yesterday in particular looked very, very solid. This is probably the most solid win we've seen from them in a while. And I'm just wondering, you know, when are we going to see Yuri get unleashed, Kitty? Because he's had a solid, I guess a solid, you know, laning phase a lot of the time, but it feels like what I've heard about him just hasn't been shown so far.
Actually, he had quite a good performance on the Rise last night, but in my opinion, I think with Balkan on that Jarvan, Yuri will be unleashed very, very soon because that Jarvan is an absolute menace, you know, utility plus carry plus shot caller plus handsome and can punch people on Twitter, you know, with that big fist. But yeah, Balkan's got it all. He's basically the all-rounder for PGG.
That's your League of Legends CV right there. You know, he can punch on, he's handsome. Sign him up. Get him in the game.
Yeah, I want to see what they do for a couple of these post-game celebrations because I've been enjoying the ones from Rogue and Winter, but I want to see some Yuri and Balkan action right in the background. Now, speaking of these teams, we've got to talk about Chiefs again. Let's have a look at their lineup. So both of these teams have some solid imports. Now tell me, what's going on here, Skimmy? Because Arthur yesterday said a couple of big words about his teammates, and then things didn't go right.
It seems like the curse, hey, whenever, you know, your teammate bad mouth shared, then it's like a curse put upon you that, well, it may not just perform in the same fashion. I think the biggest one for us was the impact on Tapoon. We really expected that to be like an insanely close matchup. He seemed a little bit quiet for the most part. I think he even posted online that, you know, not up to my own standards. But look, hey, there's definitely a roster that is built to achieve it. They can carry in multiple lanes. It doesn't always need to be about that one key person. But I guess you're looking at this one. Yes, execution was fantastic from the side of Peace. The draft obviously made things a lot easier. But I'm looking at Arth and you're thinking, could that Jarvan have been anything else? Because he just couldn't play the game half the time, Mac. You know, he would jump in. The Poppy would say no. He's trying to say, we're flipping a Drake, we're flipping a Baron, and in the end, it's like, oh, well, have a Baron, have a pentakill.
Yeah, have a lot of fun too. That's what we're here for. Lots of fun in the LCO, and I know that these imports have been having a lot of fun. So it's like, who is going to be coming out on top? Because at least, you know, we have Arthur up against Balkan, and both of them have been having solid performances in the jungle, but I feel like Balkan, from what I've seen, has been having better performances, right, Kitty?
Well, we've got to compare the imports. So let's start with the junglers. I've actually grabbed some stats, and looking at the stats, Arthur has a very low KP considered that he is a high map impactor. But when it comes to Balkan, he has the second highest KP in the LCO. So we can obviously see that these two junglers are polar opposites. Arthur plays the map and Balkan sees someone, he just goes on them and kills, and that turns into gold for the rest of the team.
Now, Skimmy, anything to say while we're still talking about the imports?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think she's hit the nail on the head with the junglers, right? Very different styles in terms of how they want to look to try and approach things. Yuri and Tapoon, yeah, I mean, Yuri's been exciting for me because he has this very explosive style. Yes, there was the question marks around that Corki performance. He ran it back and he said, look, it does work. But the Rise, I like the fact that you do have these aggressive tendencies available and, you know, you can flex it around and sort of answer some of those questions that you can play more than just the AD champions. But for Tapoon, yeah, I think it was a small blip on the radar for him. No doubt he'll be coming into this one saying, you know, we're better than that, and we're going to prove it.
Now, I have a great surprise for all of you at home, and it's an interview. But guess who the interview's with? It's not only the fan favourites of the big man Pradith, it's also Raze, who is going to quickly have a chat with us today. So I'm damn excited. We've even got Arthur there. We've got the triple interview. Now, boys, tell me, how are you feeling today?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, after seeing the stats between the junglers, I don't know. I'm not feeling very confident in my jungler, but I think I can carry him today, so it should be all good.
Finally, a bit of revenge for yesterday, huh? Now, Raze, I'll ask you first. So I want to know, how are you feeling adapting back to OS after playing overseas for the complete of last year?
I had a pretty rough start actually in the Henna House tournament. I lost to Prey playing with Prayless support. I got like completely hard destroyed in that series, I'm not gonna lie, so but I feel like way more comfortable now. I've regained the experience I learned in NA, and I'm pretty confident going into this matchup today.
Okay, now quickly, Dragku won Max Most Handsome Support last year. Do you swoon every time you play with the man?
Yeah, so since we're still like in this, we're actually moving tomorrow to our new gaming house, so I'll actually be seeing him a lot more. We'll be all rooming together, so maybe then I'll start like swooning over him, but for now, I don't actually get to see him that much. We're just like in our own rooms, kind of secluded from each other.
Yes. Long distance relationships, I understand.
Yeah.
Now, Pradith, let me talk to you. Turning around those performances, you had a bit of a shaky start to the split, but you have been popping off. You knew you were going to have it, and you did sort of lean into that. You know, you did go for the year of the goose, and I know what you meant by that. I know you were being a bit of a goose at the start of the season, but the goose is going to transform into a beautiful swan. Now, tell me, what are you going to do today to take down Raze the big dog?
Honestly, I kind of wish I wasn't interviewing Raze because the rest of his team had like they bombed the game completely yesterday. So I was hoping I'd interview one of those because Raze actually performed pretty well. So maybe I'll abuse his other players today.
Well, Arthur's there. Do you have anything to say to Arthur?
Nice stats, bro.
Oh, he just flamed your stats.
Well,
he just flamed your stats. Yeah, he did. He flamed you, bro. What do you gotta say to that? Nothing? You're just gonna take it? Okay, he's just submissive, I guess.
Arthur looks fired up. I feel like he's going to do the talking in the server. Now, Pradith as well, we've lost a couple of big personalities from the LCO. I'm missing Pabu, I'm missing Chaz. Do you have any message for him, or do you still speak to him all the time?
I speak to him almost every day. I was talking to both of them like 2 days ago, so you know, I tell them I miss them all every day, so don't worry about it.
Oh, beautiful, a bromance that will never be missed. Now, of course, in light of Valentine's Day coming up on Monday, we have been giving compliments to one another. So, Pradith, I know you just really want to be mean to everyone all the time, but give Raze your best compliment.
Oh, please don't make me do this too. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
That's all right, Pradith's lost for words. He's got too much to say about Raze. He's a beautiful man. And Raze, look, you said you don't want to do it. Mark, those eyes, they're looking great today. And I always love that cheeky grin when you're in these interviews. Now, I'm going to wrap the interview up there, boys. Go get ready for the game and good luck on the Rift.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Starstruck, Mac. Completely starstruck, wasn't he?
Had absolutely so much to say that none came out. That's exactly what just happened. Now, let's talk predictions. This game is spicy. This game's looking good. I feel like Chiefs, I don't know if they're even coming into this as the favourites. With that game yesterday, I think, yes, they definitely have it. We know what they are capable of, and we know a lot of these teams have been strong on the bounce back. You, Skimmy and Rusty, sorry, Skimmy, Rusty, Kitty, you all seem to think Chiefs are going to bounce back today.
Yeah, I was really torn on this one because I feel like there's arguments to be made for both teams. I love the aggression that Pentanet have, but I'm just wondering if, you try something a few too many times, you're eventually going to get burnt. Whereas I feel like I've seen a little bit more consistency and refinement in Chiefs' play, so I would just give them the gentle nod to be the favourites here.
Well, I'm going with Pentanet. I feel like they are bouncing back. They're bouncing back hard. They're getting through all of these comm issues, and they are trying to make this happen. And look, Chiefs, I feel like they are potentially going to cop this L. I saw how much and how sad Raze was in those photos buzzing around Twitter yesterday when they did cop that L. So maybe they're getting ready to move. You know, they're not focusing on the game. They're packing bags. They're doing all this real life stuff that's getting in the way. But once they get to the gamer house, we'll see some next level Chiefs performance. Kitty, thoughts on that?
Well, I think the gaming house will definitely give them a boost because how many gaming houses do we have in the LCO? I think maybe 3. And obviously, those 3 teams are the top teams right now. So I think there's something in correlation with that.
Ooh.
But I've chosen Chiefs to win tonight because I believe their textbook playstyle will outshine PG's Angry Gaming.
Okay, now let's talk support. So we got Dragku up against not Corporal, sorry. We got Dragku up against
Rogue.
Rogue. Oh my god, I don't know why I spaced. That is an interesting one because Rogue's had some solid performances since he's been here in the LCO. Dragku, I feel like he's had a couple of big ones, but yesterday it might not have been in the greatest of spots. Skimmy, are your eyes okay?
Yeah, look, this cable's absolutely trolling me. These are the
right.
joys of at-home production. You want to get it over your shoulder. You don't want to see this, right? Look how bad that looks on camera. I know we're derailing your point, but look, this is the biggest fight I have. This is the biggest lane diff for me.
Yep, cables everywhere. Kitty, what are your thoughts on the support matchup?
Obviously, we know Rogue as that Thresh player. He had an amazing performance on Thresh before he left the league. But Draku, he is a big fan of the Yuumi and the Lulu and Soraka, so I'm going to expect him to pick an Enchanter for tonight because he didn't have the best performance on Leona last night. He looked like he was a bit lost. With that being said, Rogue is quite suited to play those engaged supports, so it's probably going to be an engaged support versus Enchanter.
Let's see if that is on the money because Champ Select is ready. It's PGG, it's Chiefs. Who's going to come out on top? Find out now.
$1 million question, isn't it, Mac? And let's see if our wish does come true. Will we actually see Drake, who finally played that Enchanter? He always talks about it, but he never decides to deliver on that promise. Pentanet going to start on the blue side here with the first pick priority. The Caitlyn's gone, the Thresh is gone, and the Lulu is too. Here, Kitty.
So Corky and Kaylin have actually been permabanned tonight so far, with the Zeri being locked in for Praedyth. I'm very excited to see if that's going to be matched with a Yuumi, or maybe Chiefs is going to take away the Yuumi.
Yeah, what springs to mind if you're thinking of another 80 carry to pair to Yuumi with? I mean, when you're playing the game, so you're thinking, oh, I really love it when I have X champion apart from Zeri?
So the only person that will fit well with a Yuumi is the Ezreal because he is mobile like the Zeri, but I actually don't know the matchup yet because we've seen so less of Zeri. She's a new champion, but we do see the Renekton being locked in. Renekton is a very popular top lane and is a very strong solo laner in compet. With the Gwen, we've seen 3 Gwen games today.
Yeah,
We don't know which one it is yet.
Timer's going down, isn't it? Renekton is a guarantee, but will the Gwen go in? It will. Okay, so there is a potential flex. Still bear in mind for the Renekton and the Gwen, to be quite frank. So it's the big brain opening on the red side here to keep Pentanet guessing.
Yep, so this is going to be a jungle Gwen game. We haven't seen that yet. So let's see how Balkan will respond. Rogue is on the engaged support, bingo.
Yeah, I was going to say, does Rogue have Yuumi in his wheelhouse? Would he want to stoop that low? I guess the answer is confirmed. I'm an engaged heavy support player. It's what I'm playing. It's what I'm going to do. And I'm not going to deviate away from that anytime soon. So they're going to just reveal their hand already in that bot lane and say, Chiefs, Raze, Dragku, it's game on.
Yeah, so Chiefs don't feel the pressure to pick the Yuumi anymore, so they're probably going to look for a counter to that Nautilus. And the Victor is coming in blind. Maybe it's TF, but I want to see a Victor game. Come on, guys. Tally, pick Victor. Come on.
He did. He picked it last time, didn't he? But the TF's going to be locked in place here, which we've only had 2 games so far. It's going to be a chance for Yuri to showcase what his Twisted Fate looks like. What is the response, though, from Tally, who has played that already? How does he feel that he needs to navigate this matchup? Does he just want to scale, or does he want to be very annoying? Zillion being hovered, and it's locked in.
Yep, that Zillion can flex to support, but us seeing a TF lock-in from PGG means that Balkan will need to step up as that damage, and we'll probably see Balkan on not Jarvan, but maybe something like a Viego or something that... Oh, Jarvan is banned,
Yeah,
as
and
Tien
look,
said.
That was the tweet, right? Exactly, that was the tweet. Balkan, remove it, that has to go away. So they've not picked it up in the first 3, and now we get to see what Balkan picks instead.
Yep, Balkan is definitely gonna have to make up for the damage on Pentanet, but on the Chiefs, I'm not gonna be surprised if it is a Zillion mid, because Tally is known as the Galio utility player when he went to Worlds with Peace, with Peace and with Legacy, I believe.
Yeah.
So with Arthur on the Gwen jungle, this is gonna be a very nice mid 2v2, although AP maybe gonna build some MR for that. Aphelios is removed from Raze, so Raze has to pick Jinx. Jinx is still up, by the way.
Yeah, Jinx is still there. We just saw a Jinx Zillion game, didn't we? So if it's not to be played in mid lane, certainly Dracu can look to try and pick that one up and give them that win con once again. I'm looking at the jungle bans though, right? J4's been removed, Xin 2. Now there's the Jinx ban on top of all that, so fantastic. You're asking the question, what will Balkan go then to give them that hard engage, that solo queue style of, Prade, if you think you're the carry, no, I'm the carry. I'll take all these kills.
That is going to be a Zillion mid and Braum support. So this Braum is a counter towards the Nautilus. He's going to have a hard time engaging onto Raze. Also can block those gold cards from DTF during those important team fights.
Yes. Let's see what they go for though. Top side, what is Winter contesting? Hovering over the Jace, that's confirmed. So they've got themselves a ranged matchup to try and do battle with this Renekton, which you would assume at this stage here is to play. Bear in mind, it still could be a flex, but it's looking pretty much confirmed at this stage, now that we know that the Zillion is going to go in the mid lane.
Yep, so I'm really excited because obviously from the Chiefs we have a utility mid lane. We haven't seen that tonight. Oh?
Talia. We don't see this very often.
We haven't seen this quite yet in the new split.
No, this is going to come out of nowhere. I think we've only seen a handful of these games back in, last year really. If I'm not mistaken, it was Kevi, I believe. So, Balkan's going to say, if you draft or you remove my draft champions, I'm just going to hit you with this curveball.
These are very niche picks. Also, she's picking up the Tristana. So Tristana can actually buffer the hook depending on skill. And she can also buffer the TF stun, which is going to be very bad if Pentanet is going to go play off Yuri's stun with the Balkan combo. Something to look out for.
Yes, good point actually. There's a lot of players that you can actually play that Braum passive with, and much like some of these comps we're seeing now, more and more the emphasis on give these tools to the AD carry. We believe in them, we know what they have that star power, and you know, with the rapid fire, with the later levels, this Tristana is going to be stunning up everybody. Once that expires, in comes the time bomb, and if you've forgotten about all the rest, then hey, maybe the Renekton for good insurance at the end. So I like what Chiefs have. It's very exciting in that regard with the aggression that we can get to find, but Penstead have definitely gone a different direction, haven't they, Giddy?
Yeah, so these two comps can go both ways. They can play towards a topside carry or an ADC carry. Both lanes do have CC other than the Jace, but Jace does have the damage to make up for it. It's just up to the junglers if they want to path towards the top or bot lane this game.
So obviously the hot topic for the year, as it is the first that we have seen so far here. But Penstead are going to get their chance to showcase what this area looks like. I feel like this is a perfect champion for somebody like Prater that wants to really flirt with the idea of am I overextended or am I just a mastermind? Because that angle, maybe somebody else wouldn't have taken that risk. But I pick up those kills as he has the most for an AD carry. Here we go, though, loading into the rift for the third game of the night. Pentanet doing battle up against Chiefs. A matchup to contest, really, who the top teams are in the region right now. And I do believe we have a very special interview lined up. I know the man is incredibly busy right now. He's taking time out of his huge schedule. So, Udisoft, what a pleasure to have you here.
Yo, it's a pleasure to be here.
So, talk to me, mate. You know, 2 really solid wins those last games, right? They were very similar drafts as well. Very different draft. So, what was the plan to try and attack the Chiefs here?
Well, the plan was Twisted Fate's broken, Winterer is broken, play Twisted Fate, and funnel Winterer. It's that simple. Okay.
Are we a bit concerned that maybe the coach, you know, curse is going to affect? We said that about Corki last time.
Corki's banned this game. There's no problems anymore, all right? Corki's out of the picture. Yeah, maybe we had some troubles with Corki. Yeah. But now Corki's banned. It's our time to shine, baby.
Okay. I'm on that hype. I believe you. Hey, final question before we jump into the action. Who would you say at this stage is a bigger threat, a bigger rival? Would you say it's Peace or this Chiefs roster?
Okay, I'm gonna be real. Coming into the split, like, I don't know if you guys have seen on Twitter, like, Thean's like, the haters, this is putting them down and stuff like that. Honestly, hey, they're clapping hard. I thought they were gonna be middle of the pack, you know, 3rd, 4th between them and Order. And now they put Chiefs and us in the dumpster. So they're pretty scary. They're the early split dark horses, and now they're the early split dominators. So who's going to be more of competition? I think Chiefs have got a little bit of a groove that they need to get into, and by the end of the split, they could be stronger. But now, hey, we've got to give a lot of respect to both teams, honestly. Yeah, the sheer mechanics of Peace is scary. I think they could be the #1 by the end of the year. Besides us, you know, better than Chiefs at least.
Of course, you can't discount yourself. Hey, well, so look, I'll let you get back to your busy schedule. I know you're running on fumes right now with the hours you're working.
Man.
So
absolutely,
you certainly are, mate. Best of luck for the boys.
Thank you. Bye.
There you have it. It's as easy as it is. The questions, they answer themselves, really. What a man.
So, from that interview, we actually know that Yuri is going to be using those ulti to play towards Winter because Winter is broken. But from the summoner spells, I actually see Raze opting into the cleanse for the amount of CC that PG has, even though he can buffer some of that CC. You're gonna guarantee it with the cleanse. And we see both junglers starting red. Obviously, Talia will be pathing top, and this Gwen will be pathing towards his bot lane, or maybe even go for a counter gank, knowing that they are playing Jace strong side. Yeah, so Zillion going for an early ward because they do know that Talia is pathing towards top side. Jace is pushing in that wave, maybe potential dive.
Yeah, he's looking to try and stack up this wave, isn't he, right now? Tapun is navigating it as best as he can, copping a bit of a beating, but to be expected when you've got that mismatch between the range and melee based on current form. So Winter's going to do whatever he can. I'm really excited to see here in the bot lane how we can look to try and stack up that Glacial passive and allow this Tristana to come into effect. One of the only champions, really, you'd have to say, that isn't looking to try and abuse this lethal tempo. Still sticks with the likes of the Hail of Blades to try and get over that speed bump in the early phase of the game. Kratos will be quite content with that.
Yep, so we are looking at this dive here early from the Pentanet roster.
Yeah, just look at this one. Oh, a good flash, but a better flash away. Balkan says you will not pick up that trade. Another flash burn as well. 3 flashes at the 3-minute mark. But it's all things first blood for Pentanet.
Very clean from the top side of PGG.
Bit of a trade here. Rogue really good with the hook to try and disengage away. Otherwise, he was going to cop a big explosive charge.
Yep, so Rogue's actually going to have a very hard time playing into the Braum because if you hook in, you get CC'd and you just can't walk out because Braum is just the ultimate counter to Nautilus. It's just going to be very sad in bot lane.
So in that vein then, what should we expect to see Rogue do? Just play a little bit passive in early roams?
Rogue is most likely going to be roaming towards his strong side top laner because Udisoft did mention Winter is OP, so there he'll most likely be left on an island. He does have a few dashes to protect himself from that bot lane from Chiefs. But Chiefs do scale well, way better with the Zillion and Gwen in the mid lane. Rakan is coming bot for a counter gank because obviously Gwen parred bot lane, but it seems like Gwen has reset and went back top.
Yeah, I think this is like characteristic, right, of what you mentioned, that Balkan will be all about the aggression, finding the kills. He's definitely done that, whereas Arthur's going to be much more about playing the map. And so far, he's playing the map by getting extra farms. So usually their textbook play has been, you get me fed, I hit level 6, then I'm looking at a potential gank. If not, where's that Herald?
Yeah, and Balkan getting Winter ahead set him 10 CS behind Arthur. So Arthur is farming up a Storm. I believe that Arthur is a win con for Chiefs, at least for the mid to late game, especially with the Zillion being the utility for the Gwen with Ghost. Yep, we've seen that.
More, aren't we? Always exciting when a champion can definitely flex between a lot of different summoners. It doesn't feel like a hard force that they have to go for this flash, but I guess Summoner Spellbook will make life just as convenient for Yuri here on the side of PGG, who's actually going to get hit by the double bomb. Nice little bit of wave clear there.
So Yuri is 6 now, and Riftchild is coming up in 2 minutes while Dragon is up. They are going to hover top side while most of Chiefs are going to go for this Dragon. They are trading sides right now.
Balkan though. He hasn't been spotted by Vision. He's jumped across the Herald pit. No wards are here. Another big wave building up. Just look at that. The Destiny comes in. Tapoon has no dominance. He has no ultimate. He has no outplay condition. He'll slice and he will dice. But the Conquer gets conquered.
Yep, they are definitely playing towards Winter this game. Setting Tapoon behind. This is probably the worst we've seen from Tapoon in terms of laning phase. He is just getting camped. But let's see if Chiefs can make it up with Raze and Jakku in the bot lane in that winning matchup.
Otherwise, it's all according to plan, as Coach Ubisoft mentioned, right? Make Winter OP. He is OP. He's 2-0. He's the only one in the game with a bounty now.
Yep, they are going to look for this dive with the TP online for Jace.
4v2, in go to Chiefs. Look to try and dive the spotlight and find that kill. Drag, you're going to receive all the turret shots, but has a Zillion ult on his head. So we'll come back from the afterlife, back to full of... He's got full HP. The dive is as clean as you like it.
Very clean from the Chiefs. Obviously, Jace is used TP bot lane, so the ADC will be rotating towards top to catch that wave. And look at... You know, Zeri's jump is actually similar to a Bard portal in terms of length. So when Zeri leaps out of base, it's as long as Bard
I
portal.
have seen that. Yes, good point.
This was just a very clean dive from the Chiefs with the Zillion ult used on the support who was tanking. Really nice.
I guess
You
what
know-
we really need to hit now is we need a Zeri and a Bard lane together.
A Zeri and a Bard lane.
Then you're basically Aurelion Soul. You're going through the entire map.
Perhaps, you know, I'm excited to see that combo.
Another day.
Another day. But
Alright.
Rift Herald has spawned and the bot lane has rotated to top lane, so that TP from Jace actually worked out in the end.
Certainly did. PGG going to start things off. Gonna jungle. Are going to be the only ones interested in going for it. The rest of the team are going to hover around and make sure that there's no contest here from the Chiefs, which there is not. Draku is already hanging around and making sure that nobody's here to gank his AD carry, whilst Raze picks up all that free CS and gold. But Pradev is going to do the same top side.
Yeah, so this is really interesting because I interviewed Arthur yesterday and he has, in all his LCO game, he actually obtains the first Rift Herald in the LCO so far.
Yep.
So Balkan is actually kind of playing like Arthur. He's playing for the top lane. He's obtained first Rift Herald, while Arthur trades the Rift Herald for a dragon. So it's very uncharacteristic of him.
They flipped the script, haven't they? Because what did he mention? Like, you know, the first two Drakes really don't matter. We'd rather get, you know, value elsewhere. So not going to be the case today. The playbook has been flipped. And first Drake will go the way of PGG, but much like that Chiefs playbook, it's going to get a second headbutt. It's going to put work into the second turret, and that's just gone.
This is a really worth trade from Pentanet, with Ray's not even getting 5 plates in bot lane.
He's got the most gold though, did you see that? The most gold in the game, so still a big win for him as a result.
Winter slash flash. Yep.
Okay, double flash burn.
It's really nice that Winter avoided that death in the bot lane while his team traded for the 2 top towers. Really safe from Winterer. I believe Ray's got 3 plates by himself, while the top lane plates were shared between the 3 players.
Yeah, that would make sense then.
Yeah. So we are looking into a Ray's win con at the moment. He is receiving the most gold on Chiefs, while Winterer is a bit behind due to the TP he used earlier to defend that dive.
He's already got the Kraken Slayer, Kitty. I mean, as much as win cons go, I mean, no doubt Ray's going to be comfortable, familiar, and happy to be that man, but he's so strong so early on.
Yeah, and bringing that point about Kraken on ADCs, he does have a utility mid laner, kind of like an Enchanter, Zillion, with a Braum. That's enough peel for anyone, so building a Kraken is really smart here. You do not need more utility or shields from the other 2 AD items, so I really like this Kraken coming out of Raze. And we do have the TFO available for this dragon fight, with Winter resetting coming to this dragon fight late, while Tapoon is already here.
Let's see. How do we set things up? Second Drake of the game. Chiefs already have the Ocean. The Infernal is now spawning. Rogue hits the hook, only onto one. On towards Dracu. That's not the target they want. Knockback is there. Follow-up damage is not. Dracu will go down to 50. He's chugging through those potions. In comes Winterer. So now a full 5v5, biding their time to go for this next Drake.
Yeah, PG has actually opted into getting mid prio other than this Drake. They've got the lane pushed in with the
Huge
TF
shot pass.
going for a flank.
Oh, look at the catch on towards Tapoon. He was flanking on Vision. Destiny comes out. Rogue goes onto him, but he just jumped into the wall. They thought they got the catch, but ultimately, they've been caught.
So PGG actually looked a bit undecisive there. They had 2 people on the mid lane pushing in that wave, while 3 people were still circling around that dragon. You know, you did, and they did end up contesting for the Drake, which they didn't even get, and Balkan died. So, not a very clear decision from PGG. And they used all their spells onto Tapoon, and he didn't even end up dying, so that's really bad for PGG.
It hurts. It definitely does sting, considering they felt like they had the inside track with that one, but it's not to be the case. They will still retain, though, a 1k lead. Not the biggest deal, but certainly something to talk about. Raze is just going to pop his head into the top lane and wait for the explosive bomb. How about you just jump on his head? Okay, Drake, you've hit him with the shotgun. You've kind of stolen that one, but they've got a bounty.
That was probably, if not the turn of the tides, because Winter gave away his bounty to the other carry on Chiefs. This Tristana's going to be huge.
We're answering plays though, cross map, aren't we? Both looking to try and punish these top laners. Benefit really though for Chiefs, as Tapoon does not die on this occasion.
Yep, Tapoon's playing really well in terms of being weak-sided, with Raze eating another tower in top lane. Another 10 plates, not 10, but at least 8 or 9 plates. He's ahead in gold by a mile compared to Praedyth.
I mean, he's close to 2,000 gold at 13 minutes ahead of the Zeri. This is huge.
Yeah, and obviously the win con now is clear that it's going to be Raze for the late game. It's gonna get another pick.
No way. Winter literally walks back to lane. He's dead again. He feels like, oh, the wave is pushing towards me. No need to burn a teleport. But why is this Tristana still here?
Yep, so when Raze traded for the flash on Winter, they noted that, and they're just going to spam kill him off cooldown. So we do see the Everfrost coming out of Tally, just a bit more utility and a bit more peel for the 2 carries for Arthur and Raze. And Ray's taking cleanse here. He's just gonna be untouchable in these team fights. With the Zillion ult probably going to be given to him as well.
Yeah. It's a good point you raised, because last time Tally and Raze were on the same team, when he first came in as that substitute jungler, resulting in him going into that world performance, he did play a lot of this, you know, protect the Raze show. You know, he had games as like a Cho'Gath mid, a Galio mid, even a Karma mid. And the question was, you know, just sustain, do what you can in lane, and group up and pocket the AD carry. And you know, it's almost like a blast to the past 2 years ago, but it's finding success once again here.
Yep, they do hand over the Rift Herald to the Gwen. So Raze is actually just getting solo XP in top lane right now. Farming up jungle camps as well. He's just a farming demon. While Tally wave clears this in mid lane. It's really hard to actually engage onto the Zillion and Braum because Braum's wall and the Zillion ult.
Sure.
So Raze is kind of just free farming in the side and free scaling.
So what would you like to see Pentanet do more of then? Just continue to try and hit these side lanes, or just try and find people caught out of position with the Twisted Fate?
So from Ubisoft's interview, obviously they were planning to play Winter strong side. We've only seen Yuri ult into Winter's lane once, and we haven't seen it done again. But I'm expecting if Winter is going to be the win con, you better be playing towards his lane more than just once. Especially with that TF ult. Yep.
Yeah, started off so strong, but then two characteristic win con Avengers, if you will. Almost like they're both going at each other and saying, no, I'm the main character. No, I wish I was the main character, but right now I suppose the gold shows that Raze really is that so far. So let's see how they can look to try and put themselves back in that winning position. You saw the Herald was summoned in mid lane. Balkan dropped the Weaver's Wall to try and prevent it, but the minions, thank you so much, observers. Let's just take a moment to pause.
MVP.
It's gone.
So we actually see Nautilus building Swifties. In my opinion, he should have built maybe a Merc because he is very squishy going into this Tristana and Gwen. He's just going to get chopped up.
You prefer more combat stats rather than the roaming potential?
I mean, roaming is kind of over because he didn't play towards Vitra.
It is over because the team fight started and he's already dead. So cast a curse, well done, Kitty. You've experienced what it's really like. Raze flashes over the wall, then receives a gold card to the head. There is no escaping us, is what PGG is saying to them. They want more, and they may just find it, but Draken with a clutch W away makes sure that he has an ally nearby and protection when he needs it. Tapoon also on the run, and it's good timing because the third dragon has spawned and now PGG can get there first.
Yep, so obviously Rogue sacrificed himself after getting caught, but them using all the spells on him means that the carries can DPS. And the Zillion ult was actually used on the support, might I add. That was a miscalculation from Tally, probably the reason why they lost that team fight in general. Definitely want to be using the Zillion ult on the carries such as the Gwen or the Tristana. They can't afford Braum dying.
And speaking of supports, much like they are tanky, they can fall down because they're quite squishy too. As Rogue finds himself dead for the third time this game. Support's very hungry to fight, or very hungry I should say.
Very hungry.
Very hungry. Ooh woo, here we go.
Very angry and hungry, I guess. Hungry for that win coming from both teams. Have we seen Raze use his cleanse once this game?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't feel like he's been really... I mean, quite honestly, that play at the end there where he did fall on down, he'd already burnt the rocket jump, he'd already burnt the flash. I mean, the cleanse, the revive, would it have made difference? More likely, you're just going to stand your ground right and say, you know, I'm going to go down fighting again.
Yep, he's probably saving that for the upcoming fights, which is very smart from Raze. You know, when you're dead, you gotta admit that you messed up and save those summoner spells, especially when it's a cleanse against TF and Nautilus.
So, we're 19 minutes in. A couple of dragons apiece. Well, one in favor of PGG at this stage, given it is the Hextech Soul. The gold is dead even though. So, what are we looking as being the big talking point going into that 20-minute mark?
So obviously this Baron will be shredded by the Gwen and Tristana if Chiefs decide to play towards it, which looks like they are hovering. Both teams are hovering towards this Baron, because both teams can kill it quite quickly. But in my opinion, I think the win con for PGG will be from the Jace pokes. You gotta play with the Jace poke, and Chiefs just gotta protect the AD carry. I don't even think Gwen is that strong, but this Tristana is an absolute menace.
Yeah, it certainly is. He's got the red buff as well right now. Speaking of the Gwen, this is going to be the variation where the Nash's Tooth gets picked up first rather than at Riftmaker, which is still going to be completed as the second item. So deviation on pick your preference, but yeah, quite right. You know, when this Baron does spawn at that 20-minute mark, which we're only 5 seconds away from hitting, the conventional Baron dance that we see teams do all the time, it's a risky ask, isn't it? Because you know that Baron could just fall on down very quickly.
They're actually just playing ARAM. They're playing dodgeball. They're trying to... I don't know what's happening in this mid lane. They're all just grouped mid lane. But Chiefs do seem to appear to have that mid priority compared to PGG.
After going in, he's already hit the Ghost. There's a Chilling Smite as well, all on towards Rogue. Glacial Fissure, there's a knockup from Dracu. They've found their fight. Tapoon hits the flank. 1v4 soaks up the pressure, but then Praetor fronts him down. Yuri goes golden on the side. Dracu and Raze collapse upon him. Raze wants to kill. Dracu don't steal it again. Raze says thank you, picks him up. And Arthur is running to the hills. Now he's trying to buy as much time as he can, but he's being collapsed upon by 3. Immune, a stasis, and dead. Now, can the Cavalry of Chiefs 3v3? Are we playing Twisted Tree Line? Is this the new look?
Raze is looking for more with Dracu on the flank. Oh, they're gonna leave that be. This Nautilus is having such a hard time.
He really is, isn't he? Yeah, and maybe it goes back to your point, right? Give him the combat stats. Maybe to go for the Merc Treads. Whether or not that would really change, you know, the outcome of how these games have been. Who knows? But certainly right now, it feels like a bit of an alt bot.
Yep. Gwen is immune, but with Dracu following up with the CC, it's just way too hard when these two people stick onto your face when you don't have that disengage coming out of PGG. Okay, and we just see Balkan wrapping up for the scraps on Arthur. So, that fight put Raze so ahead, picking up another kill where he has the same bounty as his support, but let's talk about Dragon. This is Dragon's soul point, and it's a Hex Tech soul.
It's your favorite one.
Yep, it is my favorite one.
As you said, right? What do you find, what do you enjoy about these Hex Gates? Because I find them so awesome.
Obviously, the flanks are insane, especially if for someone like Tapoon, he loves those flanks. Where you see him sitting in a flank spot right now. And yeah, I just enjoy the soul passive in general because it does apply a slow. It's really hard to scramble away once you get attached by a skill shot or an auto attack.
That's right, yeah, the Chain Lightning stacks as well, which is quite nice
Yeah.
too.
Tapoon is trying to find an angle to jump onto that backline of PGG.
He's going to hit the Hex Gate. He's going to flank around this way instead and group up the rest of the team. Standing on Vision though. Drake has been leashed, down to 40%. Going to bide their time. Is the contest going to come on through? It is not. Arthur's going to guarantee that for the boys. Now they're sitting on Soul Point, but Tapoon, who was hunting with a flank, is going to get collapsed upon. That is the beauty of the Twisted Fate pick. He flashes only into the brush. He falls on down into a shallow grave. So Chiefs will have to lick their wounds and be happy that they've got a Soul Point, but they've lost one.
Yep, and obviously we see the... Oh
no. Junglers. What's happening here? Balkan's just dead. He hit the Zonias, but he didn't expect the angle of Chiefs to re-engage despite the numbers disadvantage. So that's huge there.
Talking about Dracu, he didn't have the best performance on the Leona, but this game he is putting in work. I don't know if you saw, but Dracu's wall actually stopped the TF gold card and Jace poke.
Oh no, it just doesn't stop, does it? They're going to continue to force their fight. Tapoon hit the TP to mid turret saying, come on boys.
Gonna go into a Baron for Chiefs.
Let's see how quickly this gets shredded down.
Yep, so it's really hard for BGG to actually face check these bushes because Rogue is way too squishy with his build, and PGG don't actually have a frontline in their comp. So every time they try and base check into an objective, it ends up into burnt summoners or even a kill for Chiefs, suffering from the draft consequences of not having a frontline.
Yeah, rough. It really is a rough time.
Yeah, and we see 3 items being picked up by Raze. He's going to be unstoppable with this Rom and Zillion for these team fights. A tiny hook coming out of Rogue, very nice.
Yeah, it is. Hex Flash across the water, rejoin his team. Worth noting quickly, a bit of a deviation here from Praetiv, has opted for the Black Cleaver Rush, which you can stack up instantly with your Q, which is your auto attack, really, the unique ability for the Zeri. Has opted for that rather than the Tiamat completed item, which is a Titanic Hydra, or even the Runan. So just wants to basically shred the armor for the team, find that initial kill, and run away with it from that point onwards.
Yep, and with this Baron, we just see them pushing mid and bot. In my opinion, if I was PGG, I would look for a pick on Tapoon with the TF ulti. They do not win the 4v4 in mid lane.
Oh, hook goes out. Destiny's
TP.
being procced. Looking for the pick again. It's onto Rogue. Rogue! Stop bullying the man. He's died enough times. Meanwhile, bot lane, Yuri goes for the angle to take out Tapoon to make him 0-5. So both of them are finding no love lost in this game. The KDA ain't pretty, but the result is looking good for Chiefs so far. The mid turret will be exposed. The mid and hip will now be claimed. And look, Chiefs still have a whole minute left in this Baron.
Yeah, so PGG can't actually afford Yuri TPing bot lane because Chiefs obviously just rammed into their base. They can't actually disengage that either with Rogue getting caught because no flash and too squishy. So we see the 2 global ults being used for Tapoon on the 050 Renekton. They don't actually get much from that kill, while Chiefs trade for an inhib and an inhib tower, putting them further ahead. With Soul actually coming up in 1 minute and Baron in 30 seconds, I believe. So they're gonna be playing towards that top lane, so they get that priority while mid gets auto push from those super minions. This is gonna be a very easy Baron for Chiefs while PGG can't actually walk in.
Yeah, Baron will be expiring very shortly, and they're going to do whatever they can to extract all the value in the world, because this game has been in a bit of a deadlock for the majority of it. This Baron has been a real difference maker in giving any form of tangible gold lead. So the Chiefs now find themselves up by 3 to 4k, and with the last second remaining, work their way tease a second falling on down, but now Tapoon says, why me again? Rogue initiates, Tapoon looking to try and flash, but it's down, Chrono Shift comes on through, and look at that, it actually does get procced.
They're gonna look again.
Certainly are gonna look again, Dominus goes on through, but this time Dragon's there to back him up, Glacial Fusion goes to try and knock him all up. It is going to be the Renekton that dies first of all, but Praetiv is dead, that's huge! Raze finds one, Raze finds two, but Balkan assassinates him before Arthur finds revenge. A shutdown is there, but still the numbers advantage for Chief.
Yeah, respect to Balkan actually focusing Raze during that team fight because obviously we saw the ulti from Tally go onto Tapoon. So with Jakku in the front lines, he had no peels, so getting rid of the main carry of the team fight allowed them to have an equal trade.
What stood out for you in this replay here?
Yep, so obviously the ulti goes to Tally. I mean, not Tally, sorry. Tapoon. Tapoon still ends up dying. Jakku tries to save him in his best attempt. Raze is trying to DPS, but he gets focused down by Balkan because they don't... Is that a Jace bomb?
It's a lot of damage.
I thought that was
did the most.
Balkan damage, sorry. I thought that was a Balkan... Wow. Yeah, I thought that was Balkan, but that is Winter. Winter is just OP. Even after getting killed twice by Raze, he is still showing up with that damage.
Certainly is. Balkan's was chronically high. It was up to what? Nearly 5k damage in that team fight. So putting in a tough shift to really try and claw this deficit away. Because look, Chiefs have actually got the Hextech Soul. They have the buff of all buffs. And out goes the Destiny again. Have they caught Raze? He hits the rocket jump. He's denied vision. Yuri can't find it. They turn it to Draku. That's a shutdown. I don't think Chiefs will really mind. They have protected their carry. Raze does have a Guardian Angel. He's still got the flash. And he still has the cleanse. Now they're going to turn it around. Tapoon jumps in. He's 0-6. He doesn't mind falling on down. Dominus is there. The stun is through. Raze takes the 1v1 to Winter on the side, but he can't get the one shot. Winter is low, but he can just use that accelerated shock blast across the wall. Balkan gets that kill. Meanwhile, outside the Baron's home. And will it continue? I think it might just fizzle out, but I'm looking at Balkan's positioning, and he's still keen for more blood.
So Raze actually decided to focus Winter on the side instead of DPSing whoever was in front of Tapoon. So Tapoon tanked a lot of damage without any damage being put out from his end. So they ended up trading 1 for 2 from PDG, which is in favor of PDG. With Baron coming up, it's going to be very hard again for people to walk in because of that vision control. Obviously, you see that Raze is splitting off to the side when Arthur and Tapoon are trying their best for the fight in front of them. And Kratos is doing a lot of damage on that Zeri because he's picked up that Black Cleaver for the Renekton.
Yeah, certainly has. Does feel like this Baron is on the cards here for the Chiefs. It's picked up as easy as it comes. Great Glacial Fissure from Draku. Prevents any form of engage. The Destiny's on cooldown as well, so they couldn't even force a flanking angle. What can PGG find to answer back? Because that's the second Baron taken away from them. Also bear in mind, as we mentioned before, the Soul has been denied too. They need some form of power.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think PGG's only win con right now is going to be obtaining the Elder Drake. They just have no control for these objectives because of the lack of turrets. And they can't actually push up very far. So we do see that Raze doesn't have flash for this team fight. And Raze is level 16 now.
Yeah, this is the best time really via Tristana, right? The extra range. You've hit that late game stage, and this is when you love to play an AD carry because you do so much damage. A lot of that goes on towards Tapoon. He flashes forward. He's got a global taunt. Look at my KDA. Who cares? Because I might just win the team fight as a result. They both explode into action as Arthur gets a kill, reclaims that mid inhibitor, and then they work their way towards Predator. Where you going, son? Straight to the Death Realm. A double kill for Raze, working his way to double digits. 8 kills to his name right now. The game has been built around him, and the team is certainly delivering. Working on towards the Nexus turrets. One has gone down, a second is there for the taking, and then the Nexus is exposed. 32 minutes on the clock, and Chiefs bite back with a win.
That was actually quite a close game from both teams.
Oh,
Draku!
Okay. Oh, bench your son. Yes. Yes.
Is getting into action with those benches. Very nice.
Look, I think you'd had enough of Pensnet's creative celebration. You said, look, the Chiefs got that spice. We got that personality. We can lift with the best as well. Max, surely you're looking at that. What are we talking about? A personal best, a weight, a competition? What are we looking at for that chair there?
Mate, I think they're pushing 20 kegs, so that's not too bad. It's just,
okay.
It's just like a warm-up for Draku, though. But seeing the size of those Seppies, mate, he
Huge.
is... I would mistake for him to be on the gear because he is just so beautiful to look at. But he's not a cheater. He's all natural. Now, he also was doing a whole lot of work there in the support role. I think he had, like, 95% or 93% kill participation or something up until the end of the game. He might have even had a little bit more because I didn't crunch the numbers. I was just watching the, I guess, the avalanche unfold. Chiefs just infiltrating the base. But a great bounce back as well. Raze, he had a huge game yesterday and he's followed up again with a big one down in bot lane. So, look, Praetor did call out the rest of the Chiefs lineup as well for some bad stats yesterday. And it seemed like there wasn't too many terrible things going on, although Tapoon definitely got targeted and didn't have a fun time. But fortunately, he didn't have to carry today because he had the rest of the team to do it for him.
Yeah, so everyone's talking about Raze this game, but let's talk about Draku. Draku actually avoided a lot of, they actually disengaged a lot of these fights with the Braum. He prevented a lot of CC from the TF and Poke from the Jace. Draku definitely a small MVP for the game, but Raze being the main carry of the game.
Also,
Tristana the win. Yeah.
special shout out to Arthur as well. It almost feels like he had like a Michael Jordan moment where he took it personally when Praetor called him out for his stats and said, "Oh, you want to see it? This is my celebration dance. I'm jumping. He's benching. We won."
They certainly did. And now, technically for the moment, they are still going to be second. I was about to say they'd jump back up into first, but of course, Peace already took a big dub earlier. So they are still undefeated. The Chiefs now trying to chase their tails. PGG, however, not going to be climbing up the leaderboard. I thought that, you know, in that early game, it looked like they definitely had a shot. There was so many moments where things went well. But, like, even looking at the total damage dealt, it feels like the output is still favoring Peace overall.
Yeah. You know what's crazy for me is it feels
Pensinet,
like...
Sorry, not Peace.
Yeah, it feels like Pensinet got so distracted on the idea of we need to get rid of this Renekton. He's always on the flank. Where is he? But, you know, it hits a point where he's not worth the gold. And the biggest play that stands out for me is when they dived him bot and Chief just waltzed into the base and took a mid inhibitor. So that's a trade you're going to take every day of the week.
100%. Now, anything you want to take away from the stats here, from the graph, from the item builds, Kitty, before we jump on into talk and post-game?
Definitely, PGG forgot about Ray's existence because Ray's did tweet that he had some invisible games with this game. He was definitely very clear in the carry position. I think PGG started getting very nervous when they realized, oh, we forgot about the Tristana. So they started trading for a 0-5-0 Renekton, which is very questionable for the mid-inhib, which is what Skimmy said.
Well, we do have a player of the game. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of players popping off. And Raze, he deserves this one. Big dub for him today. And look, he's not going to be laying on the floor sad. He's going to be standing tall and flexing, getting ready to work those muscles and move into the Chiefs' house tomorrow. Now, other than that, though, 84% kill participation. Very mobile. Lots of damage dealt throughout the game. 40% of the team's damage output, Skimmy. That's a big number.
It is. I'm just getting flashbacks to the Legacy 2020, where he was just the star of the show and he's proven it again. I feel like you need to be a little bit of a psycho to play Tristana to its fullest effect. And, you know, at times he towed the line. Am I an AD carry? Am I an assassin? A few of those deaths, you could be super critical and say could have been avoided. But look, you love the player. He certainly delivers. And player of the game for a reason.
Player of the game. And I dare say this won't be his last one. Man's popping off and bringing back a whole lot of experience, doing well as well. It was interesting to hear from him in that pre-match interview that they actually lost in one of those earlier games, not in the LCO, in another competition, to Praetor. So I thought there might have been, you know, a little bit of rivalry down there in the bot lane. I guess there was. You know, that pre-game was pretty spicy. Raze, though, always good to hear from him. Good to hear from the horse's mouth what's going on. And Arthur, he was shell-shocked, but what a bounce back from him after having a pretty rough performance so far in the LCO, Kitty.
So obviously, Raze absolutely popped off. We saw that 40% damage share from those charts. Praetor, he tried his best, but I think with the draft that PGG had, it was really hard for him to walk forward as a Zeri because obviously they don't have the front line. So if Zeri walks forward, then obviously everyone's going to target the Zeri.
Yeah.
And Nautilus died way too quick with the lack of gold and with Swifties. So yeah, I'm not surprised that Raze had an outstanding performance.
And look, the man that helped him have a good performance, of course, was his partner in crime, the big man at bot lane. It is Dragku, who we have for the post-match interview. Mate, good to see ya! It's been years!
Shit. Oh yeah, yeah, sup, back.
How you doing?
Sorry, I'm like really tired. I'm like, look at my eyes. I'm just tired, man.
Yeah, they're beautiful. I mean, look really tired. Now, I've got a couple of questions. So, we saw you doing a couple of curls. Of course, that's going to tie you out after the game.
Yeah.
What do you reckon the chair's weighing at, and how many reps do you reckon you could do on the daily?
So, I think these chairs are like maybe 25, 30 kilos, maybe. I can probably give you.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't kill that much, but yeah, I reckon I could probably give like 20, maybe 30. These pretty big chairs, but
Yeah, not much at all. Not much at all. Weird flex. Anyway, we did hear that Raze is very excited to be in the same house as you, moving into the new one this week. Is it tomorrow you're actually going on the move?
Oh yeah, so pretty much, wait, can I move my camp? Because like my room is literally just empty. Like it's just one mattress and it's just this is literally it. It's just protein powder.
Ready to go. Supplements?
And, like my bags. And this is Marcy. This is you know, this is my desktop pick, and that's literally my room right now. We actually moved everything. I moved like all the beds like before the game. That's why I'm like pretty tired. But yeah, we're moving tomorrow. I'm so excited because the house is like huge, and I'm gonna take some pre-workout after this interview and go lift some weights. So.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, speaking of the house, what is the thing you are most excited about? Is it being around the rest of the boys? Is it the fact that you can prac together in the same space? Or is it more about the recreational activities that may happen outside of the Rift?
To be honest, I'm just excited to see the boys. I'm really excited to finally live in a house with Tally. And of course, I can't forget King Cuden, you know, the coach.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, me and him to the top. We're gonna be you know, spotting each other. Gonna be doing a lot of stuff together.
Beautiful. Now, I am keen to see Cuden in a few of the backgrounds of these interviews going forward. But other than that, we have been giving compliments to everyone. So pick someone on your team, give them your best compliment because we're warming up. We're practicing for Valentine's Day on Monday.
Oh, practicing on Valentine's Day. What are you doing, Mac, on Valentine's Day? Can I take you out?
Hey, I'm
we can go to the gym.
I'm not single.
Go to the gym.
Oh, we could go to the gym. But
we could go to
you're
the
moving
gym,
up
you know,
to Queensland, right?
Oh, yeah, I am actually. Oh, best compliment.
There's going to be some distance there.
Wait, best compliment. Let's see. I really like Mira's Korean bowl cut. You know, the bowl cut bangs and stuff. Yeah. You know, he has a really nice hair. Raze has some really nice eyes. Tally has a really nice metal spine. You know, everyone gets a compliment. You know, Jihoon, he makes good ramen. Everyone gets a freaking compliment.
Beautiful. Now, it's not just about what they look like, it's about how well they cook as well. Great teammate, great compliments coming through from DragQ. Beautiful as always, and hopefully we can socialize at some point in the future. But it's good to chat with you. It's been a hot minute, and hopefully this dub streak can turn back into a streak.
Hopefully. Peace, fellas.
See you later, son. Now, nice little dab in there, of course, just to ruin the interview. It was such a nice moment up until that point. It was so good. He was having a great one. Now, look, I think we're trying to catch up a little bit of time, but it was always great to chat with DragQ. Kitty, I'm sorry that I got to speak to one of your best mates, but it's just been so long, I just had to say a couple of words to him.
It's okay. It's always nice having DragQ for the interview. He's always so positive, and he was so happy and excited about moving into the new house.
Well, look, we do have to catch up time. We do have to jump on towards game number 4, the last game of the day. But before we do, exclamation mail in the chat, M-A-I-L. I did see some cheeky buggers typing exclamation M-A-L-E. Wrong one. It's on your screen. Exclamation mail in the chat. Sign up for the mailing list. You'll get the emails for all the competitions, all the giveaways. You'll never miss out on free stuff, which is good stuff. Now, of course, we got the final game of the day, which is going to be another banger, and that act is a tough one to follow, but I'm sure that this one will pop off. It is going to be Order. It is going to be Direwolves, and they both want to get the dub. They both need to get the dub here early on in LCO Split 1.
Second falling on down, but now Sapoon says, why me again? Rogue initiates, Sapoon looking to try and flash, but it's down, Chronishin comes on through, and look at that, it actually does get procced.
They're going to look again.
So they are going to look again, Dominus goes on through, but this time Dragon's there to back him up, Vision goes to try and knock him all up. It is